There we go. No longer mute it. Let's see, everything else is green on the board. Oh. Okay, okay. That's what it's doing for me. My overlay thing is trying to click in. I still haven't fully set that up yet. All in good time, it will be set up. But, no, I kind of figured, you know, we've gone into Fuga greatly. And we have our setups, both our ins and outs, and how we played it. You know, we kind of need... We need to set the page. For one is like, we now have all 3 games. We played all of them. So I think it's time that we just make the definitive list. And if we make the definitive list, we can figure out on which one's the strongest, which one's by far the lowest tier, which one has been less of a staple for the whole game, and then which one just kind of just doesn't fit overall. I mean, it's cool if they're in it for the ride. I'll take them for that, but keep in mind, this... Hold on. There you go, fixing that. Had an audio error right there. Just keep in mind, the rules on the tier list are pretty much make it easier for you to play the game. These are all by opinions. My personal opinions for each character. Not by any way, shape, or form. And what I say is being personal. So, if you're unable to handle an opinion of another person, it's okay. We're all allowed our opinions in this world. And I'm only going to put this up on Twitch, because as far as I know, I think all my Discord people are kind of sleeping right now, so it's like, I don't want to wake them up. Let them rest. This will be either a short stream or a good stream, doesn't matter how we go through it. But no. We're going to also go through the team combo synergies for each of them, to see which one benefits off one another. What I mean by that is like which is the best for damage and best for setups. And since we already got a fully completed game, we might as well make full use of it. Oh wait, I'm still missing a few people on this one. We can still utilize it, it's fine. Oh yes, and I still have that on too. Cause it's the freaking summer. Like why not? But fine, it's like I got something else. I got the school. There we go, schoolwear. Much better. I got the schoolwear. We can still use that. Okay. Now, let's see. How do we want to go about this list carefully? We can start from the first kid on the list and then just move our way through. But however, we still need to include the others yet, so maybe we can get them in between? Because you looking at this right now isn't going to tell you much of anything of what I have set up for. Alright, so let me go to another save and see if I have a setup. If it ain't too butchered. Whoop. Give me one sec. I'm already hearing a lot of people are having fun either figuring out all the puzzles for the cogs, or they're doing the worst case scenario and they're just getting kind of trappled right now because they're wondering what the heck is going on with the story. Okay, chapter 12. Perfect. I don't care about the fast mode. Go away. Fast mode is considered pointless for me. I don't care. Oh, we're in here. Okay. Well, sure, I guess we could determine it in here because we'll be at the final boss, which is fine. I mean, this fight's not a problem, but let me see if I could go onto the tank. I could go onto here and... Let's see. Can I do... affinities? No. Okay, we'll just do it through this for characters-wise. So, let's see. Yeah, because, yeah, we basically have everyone here. No one's dead. That's how we kind of keep it. We don't believe in doing the soul cannon crap. When we did the first one and the second game, we did not believe in the soul cannon stuff. So, let's see. From top of the list to the bottom, let's see. This is going to be rough because I literally have to say that this one, I have to say for the oldest, being Malt. He literally has to be your front line for most of the fights all the way through, unless you're doing the Kyle Boron trick, which is pretty much Boron can hit everything and just never miss. But for him having the increased attack overall and then the double damage inflicting, and if you have Hana as the backline support, that was kind of seen as pretty much a high A tier for me, because that's how it's always seen for how the fight always went. However, later along the line, I kind of saw that I had better strategies I could have done besides him to probably make the fights a little bit easier. Instead of just relying on pretty much doing, you know, my double strike. I didn't have fragmented shot by then. I only had brave shot, which that's only like, you only get more damage if the tank's health is low. You only self buff, pretty much only self luck, triple attack. You didn't get any of these AoEs until way later. And then this one was only just a buff to everyone's attack. So technically until the second game he becomes more utilized. But if I had to say it for Malt, since our grade is going to be pretty much, we'll have S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, May tier, because unfortunately I have to say for the first game, May is rarely used at all. So unfortunately that'll be a May tier because cute angel, we don't do nothing bad to her. We don't put her in the canon for one. We hope we never do that. So as far as I could say, for good old Malt, he is my favorite boy. He is the oldest. He is pretty much the main character of the whole game. I have to literally put him, personally, I have to put him at a B. He's a B tier character because overall it's all single damage and you're focusing on one target. Only time it changes is when he's either in the backline for support and he's doing, or his hero mode is active to where double damage is applied, to where he can make Hana and Sheena get full effects of their abilities, except for SP. SP actually just builds up by how much level rank it is and only goes up by 3. They never changed that, which that was kind of a disappointment. But it's okay. It's okay. It still utilizes as a good kit. So if you have Malt, front line, he carries your team, pretty much. Alright, so B tier for Malt. And now we go on to the next one. The Angel, which I technically say the guardian angel of the whole game. Believe me when I say this. Oh, you know, we don't even have music to go through this, so oof, it's gonna be kind of weird hearing all this goopy stuff. Maybe I should just rush the boss. Let me just go ahead and get the music for the boss there, because that way we get straight into combinations. Because you'll need to learn them pretty much on what's what for damage. Nope, we don't need that. Pull that up for me, buddy. Thank you. Okay. Now I could actually go through this. I think, yeah, I can still pause the game and still look at it from that perspective while that's going. We just did Malt, so back to what I was saying earlier. Hana. Pretty much our staple healer for the entire game. The reason why I say this, because literally, first off, Lullaby, Soothing Song, helps with fear when it's really necessary. Weakness is not that good because it only hits one target, only until later along the line Ballot gets introduced. So she's still like our best healer for most of the game. Then you get Smoke Zone, and then you follow that up with this one, which is the highest heal, and then White Zone. Now, call me favorite for this because it's like I made sure that I kept the healers alive or they're overly stacked on their health. Believe me when I say that, because I want to make sure that the healers never did get knocked out. And you do the comparison with Luck right now, the high chance that she gets a good hit is up there, compared to where Malt doesn't get it and he's slightly slower. But it's also could be because she used the grenade launcher. She even has a decent amount of damage, so she could basically hit good targets. The only downside is that don't tend to use her for a frontline attack all the time. She's only there for like, you inflict weakness, which lowers their attack points, inflict smoke to make them blind. That's about it. If it just came to healing yourself from damage, she's mostly backlined either to support, or she's given herself, you know, the full effect of the heals. Which you want that. You want the double effect of the heals, because that means there's no way you're going to lose. You're not going to die at any given time. So, given the choice, I put on here for Hana, and I do say this out of respect, because I'm not favorited to my character. I would have given her a higher tier if it was that case, but I'm not doing that. Because we'll talk about 2 later, about her, which is still messed up for me. I put her in the B tier as well. Just the same situation with Malt. It's literally a healer, but it only benefits for single fights until you later along the lines get more benefits, which is you don't see Smoke Zone and any of them until way later in the game. Probably after you've gone through a couple bosses. I'd say a few bosses, not a couple. And that's about it. So that's where she kind of sits. She's in B tier. Her whole setup, her whole kit is technically that. Is that she's meant to heal your group, blind the enemy, swap out, get heal buffs if it was with Malt or with anyone else, and you just constantly focus the damage and you get your health back. All for normal strikes. Kyle. You know, I can only say it's like you're a smug guy, but I still give you my respect. First off is like you're our machine gunner. First thing we get is piercing shot, taking armor away. Sharp arrow, hardly utilized but takes away armor. Good stuff. Piercing shot, airstrike, taking out all aerial targets. Eagle eye, giving more accuracy to the entire team. Only thing can't benefit is if it's Boron, because with the support he's more stable being a 10 link. Piercing Rain, this is really good utility because now it's all the aerial targets that have armor are stripped. Hot Blood increases luck, only it's still person, and Piercing Shot, which is just 3. Now, I have to say, and this is out of personal respect, he is the only character till we get to Brits. And I think Sheena too, but I don't think Sheena has anything like this. Overall, he is the only one that is either going to be your frontline staple for crit hits, armor removal, aerial enemies taken down. He's literally high up there. He can do it. He's a guarantee. It's just the only thing is for the entire game up to this point, you have to build him up. Which means if he's out there in the front, you got to make sure he doesn't get injured, which is why Boron's a good combination with him. It keeps him stable from getting injuries or depression. At least you hope he doesn't get depressed. It sucks when that happens and it's applied. So, given the choice until you get to Brits, this is your one staple for armor destruction, switch out, give Boron his accuracy, and he can just go to town on everything. So with that said, I give Kyle, even though he is my hated rival, and is out of respect for the boy, he gets A tier. Because right there at the start, he is your immediate go-to guy. One strike, armor strip, ignores armor, goes hero mode, he gets crits for everything he does, even for armor piercing. He is literally a walking Rambo, if done right. It's worth seeing it if you can do it correctly. And depending on who you synergize him with, Boron is the best choice just for the extra damage. So it's a guarantee. A tier for Kyle. Boron. Our happy, joy Stimpy of the bunch, which I'm going to let you know this now. You can calculate this personally. I want you to look at everyone's attack points. Look at all of them. You give me one person that has attack strength that high. His speed, yes, it's slow. His luck is bad. However, right off the bat, Fragment Shot hits everybody. Gives protection, pretty much temporary injury resistance. So that means your allies aren't going to get kind of caught with their pants down, literally getting blasted. Shell Festival, which is the essential combo used for Kyle and him. And see, like I said, for support, he's injury resistant. Reinforcement, damage received to the tank decreases until the end of the battle. Useful till you get further in and you deal with harder bosses. Because then you forget about it, you don't use it. Overload is the same method. The only difference with this one is that when he's doing this and he has Kyle in the back line, if you give him the accuracy buff at the same time, well, afterwards, he loses that fear. Or you just have Hana come in and get rid of the worry. Do it again. That's a 5-shot to whatever opponent he's up against. And if he's got a damage buff, huge damage. Guaranteed to wipe out a good amount of people. If you do it correctly. Mind you, I have him at 54. I'm going to get all these characters up to 99. That's going to be my personal 100% in the game. I have to have these characters at 99. The Megaton, a stronger version of the Shell Festival, but, the Fragmented Shot, but it hits everything with big damage. He even has Lullaby, so he's technically a small support. And then this is by far his most nasty attack. Good on paper, but unless you got someone that can speed your whole group, which is why you would have to utilize May to back that up, it's not the best attack to do because you leave yourself wide open for extra damage. And judging how we've been going through in the later games, including up to 3, I'm kind of glad they took that one away because the Mega Bazooka, decent as it is, I wouldn't risk it. There's too many times you can get hit out of armor and then hit again and again. You don't want that. So with Boron's situation, considering of how I feel overall with his synergy, his hero mode is what gives him the best benefit of the whole game. Normal attacks destroy all weakness icons and armor to an enemy. This means he literally spike you. Whoever he hits, they're at 0. No more weakness. There's no benefits for them whatsoever. They've lost all their perks that they had for weakness recovery. So if they were blue, gone. If they were yellow, gone. Red, which is his trademark, gone. And with Kyle pretty much backing him up, he can never miss. He never misses a shot. Guaranteed. It's going to be different though because in 2 they gave him an ability to actually become a pretty much a health eater, where he just, after he defeats a target, gains health for it. But we'll go into that when we go into Fuga 2, which that'll be after we beat this one. So if I had to give the tier that was respect for this one, there is no such thing. I've already given one Pacific tier, and that one was for May because it's literally, that one's a questionable one. But as far as I know, this one to me goes in the S. Already you have yourself the strongest character in the entire game, and it's this one. Until we get to 2, this is the strongest boy that we have, period. Who'd have thunk that it would be our big chubby one to be the one that does the most damage. You find out more if you do all of his links. You'll find out how strong he really is. Okay. Socks. This one's a bit of a hard one because this is your only status ailment character, I believe, until you get to, let me see, is it the twins? Yes, it's until you get to the twins. Yeah, so this won't be until like a couple chapters down the line. This is your only character set for status ailments. He's good for his luck, he's good for his speed, decent for his damage. Has Flame Grenade, Smoke Grenade, Burning Spirit, which is luck to everybody. Utilized perfectly because I have that synergized with Wappa, which you're going to see in a minute. You have Stun Grenade, which is beneficial till we get to Brits and Chick. Because it seems like whenever Stun Grenade or Stun attacks are played, the only one that gets it out faster seems to be Brits. Because these machine guns just are able to get the speed out quicker than anyone else. Minefield may only hit ground targets, but still utilizes a good move. Flame Storm, it's a weak one, but it hits everything and causes burn. Smoke Zone, same thing as Hana, but not needed as much, a weak attack. Delta Cloud, Say you put the effort into this and you actually leveled this boy up pretty good. Like, you got him way up there. This move is by far the benefit of his kit. He is literally a 3 attack on all ground enemies though, and it will inflict burn, shock, or smoke. All 3 of your utilities that you built up to this point now are combined into one, pretty much making it a tear gas, or in this case, a mustard gas. And we all know how we feel about mustard farts. Had a fun time. But do keep in mind that that's only meant for ground troops. It is kind of redundant when it's in the air. You're playing 50-50 on getting the hit regardless. And from what you have right there, it's grenade launchers, so he can get some of the air guys sometimes, depending on what they are. Or they don't have evasion on. He is our go-to person if we need to do an ailment. And the fact that his hero mode is activated by default, you immediately get a status ailment no matter what it is. So, worst case scenario, you get weakness from him. Or you get smoke from him and you've already applied it. You get burn, you get paralysis, however long your hero mode's going on, which is 5 turns. You get whatever status ailment you could put on the enemy. Shoot, you could probably put on weakness, I think. If it's lucky enough and you get it. And that's how benefiting it is. It just causes that damage. But unfortunately, since Socks is kind of one of those characters that I give respect but hardly utilize, because he's kind of one of those kids that's just sitting in the back afterwards and never touched again after you get to Chick, after you get to Grits, you don't use this one at all. Unless you're just doing support for luck, which luck for crit rate is actually pretty decent depending on who you got in the front and who you're benefiting it with. So, with that in mind, unfortunately my boy Socks kind of gets the low end of the stick, but he won't get too low. He gets the C tier. His kit's good only until you get to the finale part of his kit where it's Minefield, Flame Zone, Smoke Zone, and Delta Cloud. After that, everything just kind of just... If you kept him this long, you are utilizing your characters differently than I do. But so far, he is the lowest of the tiers right now. We've already talked about it, and as far as I know, this is the youngest one. I mainly gave this one a May tier because there's no going anywhere for her at this point because she's just literally there. She's not going to do a lot of crazy damage. She's just there to pretty much cause problems, which is good for the enemy, against the enemy, but not for us because we need to utilize as much firepower and assault as we can. However, this is why I also gave the May tier for a reason. Say you want to run your game and you want to just do this. You keep nothing but May on the field. So you have Piercing Shot, you have the Quick Assault, which does a 2-hit attack to an enemy and your speed increases. You increase the speed of all your teammates. Good. Your hero mode drops right there, double speed. You can heal, you can do Encourage Shot, and then your speed increases again. All your guys are just pumping out fast. Multi-Pure Shot hits everybody, but only takes 1. Siphon Beam, which is a key move that's not utilized until you get to Sheena. I want you guys to keep that in mind. She had an ability that belongs to the Feligos. That should have been our sign for rules of what happens in 3. We should have known about that from day 1. Yes, you're also getting lore. Yes, you are also getting spoilers about 3. We didn't pay attention to it until now. So, and then the final one being Chit Chat, which is Link Attack Gauge fills slightly. That move benefits you in so many ways for you just trying to hurry up and get an extra shot. Say you're in hero mode, do Chit Chat, boom. Chit Chat with the next one, boom. Whoever you switch her with, next 3 turns, they have a Link to do any damage with. It's worth it. That's why, in my personal respect, May gets her own tier, which is above, unfortunately, I would say above everyone, because it's by far one of the most utilized, if done in a crazy way, which I think for the personal stream that I will do for this game, we will actually run through the whole game and not take Mei out of the front. She will be in the front line. I'll debate on who's going to be her support. Because the way I see it, you want hero mode to be utilized so much, it's like you make your opponent puke because they don't realize what they've been hit with. And yes, do keep in mind her speed and attack are low just because of being a machine gun. Her luck is still pretty decent. It works out. Okay. One of the first few and one of the first many that I actually have a cute respect for. One of the few that was later along the line of the younger tiers. Chick. So far, this is like the second healer of your team if you decide to utilize the twins and decide not to use Hana for anything. Let's just say you need a backup, and she pretty much covers as that backup. You have on here Lullaby, which is pretty much by default healer. Once you have her at this point, she's literally in your front or in your back ready to start stunning. And if you can't get the stun grenade off, Risky Nade. This immediately gives bad luck to the opponent. 100% chance of getting the ailment to the opponent, which is by far the best skill to have. Or have the default of risky ammo to do the damage. Yes, that's correct, risky ammo. Vanish. It's a weak attack, but it removes enemy buffs. So like if they enrage, if they get attack ups, they get evasion. Bye-bye. White Nade causes weakness. Electro Mines only affects ground, but it makes everything stunned. And it's a strong one. Risky Zone, pretty much the same as that. Inflicting bad luck, though. And then the biggest kick in the mouth. Stun Zone. Hits every enemy with electricity. Chance of stun is high, or it's there, and it can happen. Risky Zone, Stun Zone, they can't do nothing. With the funniness about this one, unless you're utilizing her kit a lot, and like say you don't use Hana at all, Chick actually is really good. She actually has her own placement in the thing of being an A. The only thing that kind of holds her back a little bit, I guess you would say, is just... if it wasn't like if you had better skills to fight back. Because like I said, Stun Grenade, Risky Grenade, Union, and White Nade. That's all you have for your setup grenade launcher wise. You still hold the floor pretty good on your own. Especially for half of you guys that are like doing the Soul Cannon runs, which I gotta ask you guys, why do you hurt yourselves with that challenge? Why do you want to see all the kids disappear? Chico. You get A tier, Chick, because I know for a fact that in the early game, you are literally the good staple until we get to Brits later on, but you hold what needs to be held as a healer, even though you do Lullaby. So you're pretty much second in command if Hana for whatever reason is knocked out, or if someone dare do the stupid. We'll talk about that later. She's a guarantee to make sure that everyone has a status ailment on them and they will get hit by it. And as by default, she makes sure that you live because her hero guarantees that none of her skills will cost anything. And to me, that's a big push. Going through the whole game, 0 SP loss, all because you had this ability. And who she does have as she's supporting them, your skill cost is now decreased depending on how well you level them with the links. And that's why she pretty much will have A guaranteed. Her brother. This one's a bit of a question mark because it's a spicy boy. One, he's armed with the regular cannon. He's already set to be doing a lot of damage by default. And so far, Twin Sparks, 2-hit attack, burn, hot blood, luck to self. Burning trigger, you can attack your enemy and damage increase with consecutive use. When you do New Game Plus or later along the line you're trying to get his hero mode out, this varies your synergy. And the fact that Chick is your support, that SP cost from 5 could drop either the 3 or the 2. I have to relook it up and find out. The fact of it is that you're splashing the opponent with damage and it just keeps cycling through. And it's just a nasty little bomb that's just hitting you. Now, as far as this goes, it's just smoke. Black Shell's just smoke damage. It hits everybody. Double Strike, taking a page out of Malt's book. Bravery, increasing self-attack. Chit Chat, which is pretty much Link Gauge, fills slightly. And then Eruption, only ground enemies, but they get burned. Still pretty good. Not as strong as you say as your regular tier characters. It's not enough to be up there with Boron, but it's not too low to be down there with Socks. And yes, like I said, these are my personal opinions for how they all play. Because when you have the twins together, they utilize each other. Hack and Chick is pretty much a nasty combo, and they will always be the duo that sticks out. But unfortunately, Hack does not have a lot of technique to benefit the fight unless you're trying to make sure you're doing a switcheroo every time with both Chick and him. So pretty much Chick, Hack, Hackachiku. And then it's literally you're blasting them, swapping, risky, swapping, burning, eruption, heavy damage, Chit Chat combined into doing Hero Blast. You literally have the advantage, but he ends up being one of the few characters I only see used in speed runs because of his consecutive attack. And that's why he kind of gets the BB. He gets the BB tier. It's okay. Oh, this little support is by far the scariest if done correctly. Sheena, how do I explain to you? Because this one's important. To be honest, I know some people probably don't even consider her to be good, because it's not until later in the game, like part 2, she gets better utility afterwards. And when I mean better utility, how do I put this in? Respect. She gets to do piercing shot. She's devoted to machine gun. Okay. Lullaby. Pretty much healing. Siphon Beam, her power as a Felinko that knows the no-no. Mind you, she's only 9 and she knows magic of this magnitude. Kinda like Kyle the same way, is able to do piercing shot level 2 and do a lot more damage to armor. Mystic Veil. This will save your life in a fight depending on how you utilize it. Especially if you have turns in between. When you have the ability, like it says for this hero mode, act right away after using a skill, you want her to be paired with Chick. Reason being is because that means all your skills are weakened by a decreased cost. Because each one of her skills, you look at each and every one of them, somewhat costly until you get to the bigger ones, especially this one. And as far as I know, Mystic Veil has pulled my butt out of the fire, because if I needed health, I got it right away. Ballad as well, just like Hana. And then Arcane, this one was kind of a risk. And even with Kyle's buff to accuracy, and same with Brit's, it just feels like this move was so hard to apply to an enemy. Because that you stripped them nothing of 5 armor, and you give them a strong attack at the same time. But the probability for it is so dang low. Which means you have to guarantee that not only do you get the hit, you have to make sure that the hit applies, and it's such a gamble on that one. I'm a man of gambling. I will take the risk of let's go gambling and see if I can get it. And if I don't get it, then it's a waste of 10 SP and I'm in trouble. Even when her hero mode's up, I won't just spam this repeatedly. I'm gonna spam other stuff, such as temporary noise damage below 15% of the tank's max HP, which is a P shield. I still haven't really figured out what that does, so it's kind of up in the air for that one. And I have to say that until 2, right now, this is her at her base, her weakest base form. This is literally her weakest form. I give you the C tier, but it's a high C. Pretty much a high C tier. As in, you're not that bad. You're not that bad, but you're not that good yet. In time, you develop so much good after 2 and 3, and it's just stupid how strong you are. You have better knowledge of your powers, you have better knowledge of your abilities, and you cause a lot of enemies to just say, why did we not be nice to this cutie? Why did we not be nice? Why do we have to try to hurt her? Why do we have to put her into a machine that causes bio-emotions? Jin. Oh, hello. I have someone that wants to be a bot. We know just what to do with you. We will delete your message, and we will ban you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Ooh, okay. Back to what we were doing. Jin. Our favorite dog, by far. But this dog doesn't get his abilities up to snuff not until later. And when I mean later, it's when you have to go further along the line. Jin's tier is kind of a funny thing. When you first get to him, he's on revenge spree. He wants to avenge his father. Fights Flem the first time, fights her a second time, just wants you to stop. Doesn't work out. And at that point, he gets his supposed revenge, so as far as we know. But doesn't really help him get over the fact that his dad's still gone. He has Minefield, Smoke Grenade, Bravery, well, like we already mentioned before, ground enemies, blinding a foe, increasing self-attack. He does burn damage. Now this one's actually the most unique one. This one's pretty much attack into all ground enemies still. This seems to be his big focus, is just ground targets. But this one causes smoke to all enemies right there, a strong one. Reinforced, so he does like Boron, he can make sure the tank survives. And it's until the end of the fight, and mind you, he is a grenade launcher. He's not later along the line a heavy DP yet. Geo Flare, which again, strong attack, but inflicts burn this time to all ground targets. And the final one, it's just Earth Strike. It's just literally a ground attack on all ground enemies. That's all it really is. The only thing that kind of gives him more of a push, he would actually be a D if it wasn't for his skill attacks inflict double damage. All his kit really just focuses on mostly ground troops. From his first one that he gets introduced to, he only gets like one, maybe, yeah, he only gets like 2. He only gets 2 effects. After that, everything focuses on ground and just self-buff. So, unfortunately, I had to give Jin like a low C. And for all you Jin fans, I'm sorry, but it's really what it is. He is a low C just for how his setup is. He goes in, he doesn't have much kit, he's literally just set to neutralize ground foes. He doesn't have really good attack, as you can see right here. He has decent luck, decent speed, but the attack's not high enough for him to be considered to be a threat. But when we come back to this and I max out everybody to 99, we'll pull up this tier video again and we'll have corrections on fixing everybody. But overall, it seems like Jin just doesn't have enough utility to be utilized in the game. I've kept him actually in the back unless I want to do like hero segments, or in this case story mode segments of him fighting against Flem, and that was about it. So unfortunately I have to give him low C. Hopefully in the later game he's a lot more stronger. Oh yeah, he's a lot stronger. Our dumpster diving, hippie loving, also caring, wanna be leader of the month award, Wappa. And believe me when I say that, because look how we're already starting off. Luck, ridiculous. Scavenger hunt, This was by far her best kit in the game. If you needed materials, play this, you guarantee that you get materials back. Really fast, you increase item drop rate. Chit Chat, already you can build your links. Shell Festival, she has this too. Bang Bang. This was the annoyance of anyone fighting her, because it's literally, you build gauge faster. So take Chit Chat and just make it into an attack. And believe me, 2 extra points is worth it. Just doing that every time and you're getting utilization, you could do a lot of damage. Temporary luck increase, Black Shell, pretty much just smoke. Burning Spirit, and then the final one, ooh, this attack pretty much puts everything on its head. You get 1 to 5 hits on all enemies, and this is pretty much playing Russian roulette if you had a cannon that was pretty much a revolver. And it's literally, I'm either gonna do 1 shot or 5 shots. 5 being the best roll you can get, 1 being the worst. Now, unfortunately, like I kind of figured, Wappa's in that position to where, yeah, her kit's okay, her hero mode's okay, normal attacks become a 2-hit attacker, which we already have other characters that could really utilize something better. And so when she's introduced, it's like, we don't really want to use her. She's just there for the ride. And it's kind of disappointing because later along the line, she gets somewhat of a better increase. And oh boy, when we talk about 3, she gets a major increase. It's just by far the best of its merit. But right now, if I had to say my lowest that I'm gonna give by far, as much as I love our little hippie doggy, I have to put you in the D tier. Because like I said, your kit's good, you have unique attacks, you're a cannon user, you do double hits, you link attack gauge increase quickly, you have fireworks as your 1 main utilization, and that's it. Everything else after that, Bang Bang is good, but it's a single hitter. Single hitter to a target, a single target, that's it. You don't have much to go off of that. You don't give heal benefits. The only thing that you really are is just a decent DPS if ran correctly. And that's about it. I'm not being mean to Wappa, I'm being straightforward. It's literally, she doesn't have much kit until later in the games. And when she's in later in the games, she does a lot more. Especially with the drama that we get. And then here's the good boy. I swear, for everyone that is a Brits fan, I just want you to just grab your Brits plushie, just give it head pats every time. It's like, this is a good boy. This is a good boy. He knew that the Burman army were doing stupid. He knew. And he decided to go against them. He saved the one Falinko out of the whole bunch and guaranteed that they would be happily ever after in the end of their story. And I say that because it's legit. This one dog is making sure that not only is his family's good, he's making sure Sheena's family's good, and pretty much making a bond right there to connect Falinko and Canoe all in one as a happy joined harmony moment. And it works. For his attacks, he has Piercing Shot, Sharp Arrow, so copying a little bit of what Kyle has. However, he goes right into the next mode, which I have to literally speak of this. Blitz Spear, by default, his best stun that he likes to do immediately. And it just works. For some reason, it procs faster just with his kit alone over everyone else's stuns. I mean, you can guarantee it with the risky nade, with the risky ammo, but with him, it's like he just immediately gets it. His luck is somehow decent. Even though his luck is kind of crappy, he still gets it. Piercing Shot 2, where he can do 3 damage but take 2 armor away. Inflicts shock to all aerial enemies. Later along the line that gets changed because it becomes utilized much differently. And then a 3-hit attack on an enemy that ignores their armor. good on paper if we're doing some machine gun only damage. But machine guns don't do a lot. That's why you see their points are so low. But still, to this day, he's going to be a strong ally for his kid, period. And it works. And then the last one will be Piercing Shot 3, which is pretty much, it's a replacement Kyle, but with stuns. And it just works. Now, unfortunately, you do lose him later along in the game, but then you get him back if you did certain parameters right. I won't go into that because as far as I know, some of you guys are probably going to tell me, why are you giving more spoilers? It's like, no. This game is older than the other two right now. If you haven't played this game, that's your fault. You can't say spoilers for the first game. It's already been out way too long. There's Comedies of Steel made for this series. Calm down. Get off my back. But if it came down to it, for Brits himself, the way he's set, and knowing that his hero mode is by far the wackiest one of them all, he does an actual 6-hit normal attack. That's still a lot to put in if you set this up with a Mei combined with him. Not only does he get to go faster, but he gets to keep wailing on you with damage. And just keep that in mind. That's all normal attack. That's not saying we buffed up his attack to do more and then hit every time. That's literally a smokescreen of death, if done right. But as far as everything goes, I have him for his stun. I have him most of the time paired with Sheena, because they both look out for each other. I have him in highest respect, I would say a high B. Like, he's close to an A. He's really close. He could be right up there with Kyle. He could be right up there. But the sad thing is that his kit only goes so far, and that's about it. Because when you go down the lane, Kyle technically has more utility to give more accuracy, piercing range, increasing luck, but at the same time, airstrikes is hitting all targets, he's giving you more accuracy, and he can do armor piercing to every aerial enemy. Where for his, it's like, you don't do piercing to the enemies, you stun them in the air, and that's about it. And then you have an attack that ignores their armor. That's about it. So unfortunately, you're clawing your way up to that A tier, but right now you're at a B. And that's where you sit. It's okay. It's okay, because you're still by far the most valuable dog in the bunch, if done right. That's why you're in the front lines rather than Kyle, because if Kyle was in the front, that means Boron's not being helpful for the front. That means you messed up somewhere. Now, with that out of the way, we could actually do the situation of this fight to give a better situation. Right now, let me see, we have our favorite thing. I'm going to set that up. I think I can. Well, no, we can't. So, we'll just go through it from here. If given the choice, like I said, Mei has her own tier. She pretty much would be just in the front, and you want her double speed overutilized. That's it. But as far as it goes, if you're doing speed runs, you want these two, and you want max link at 10. You must have that. If you're going for crazy damage and pretty much luck, you want Socks and Wappa together. This is a guarantee for crazy damage. Now, like I said, I could just have this set up right here and do that, but I changed up my strategy and had it to where both Sheena and Hana work together. Reason being, these two can literally bounce back and forth, pretty much healing themselves and getting SP. Healing, SP, healing, SP. And that's how we really bounce back and forth. Now, the other group I could take in, which is always good, the twins, by default, I have not leveled them up, and I feel disappointed if you're seeing that. Having both of these two out at the same time would actually be a good thing, because it's literally both Boron and Hat having fun. And then later along it, you just want to make sure that Hana or Sheena are pretty much picking up the pace on doing damage. Now, like I said, given the choice, Malt backs up Hana, or vice versa. It's a guarantee. Because with this one, like I said, you get more HP for every normal attack. He gets hero mode, big buff damage, just goes into town. And that's pretty much it. Because like I said, Jin's hardly used. Wappa's a variable if needed. Mei is not used unless you're really needing some push, and that's about it. So, yeah. That's literally how the game plays. So already right now, if we want to go into what we're going to do for damage, you want to hit everything. And then since we already see that there's a reason for you to be up here, I could have easily swapped to Kyle, but it's like, I need Kyle to be able to do this stuff. So let's see. This one hits everything? No, because you can't do that, that's right. So mainly just attack the gun. And then we got our special boy right here, just ready to go in and just start hitting stuff for no reason. See, most of the time those attacks would miss. He doesn't miss it. He doesn't have any error of missing. No. That's 30%. That's 30%. Doesn't matter what you do. It's done. 30% chance. That's alright. Well, there's our warning right now. We don't want that thing firing. We have a lot of SP, so we can. At 30% procs, it's gonna happen. That's a delay attack. I've never had that happen. I got that. Ooh, that's not good. Alright, you kind of made me mad. Because I don't want him getting that attack off. If he gets it off, he's going to cause more damage to him. Alright, that's neutralized, that's out of the way. Alright, switching game tactics. This is where we want to utilize the bonbon. And then we'll go ahead and just give ourselves the pallet. That should be more than enough. Yeah, more than enough. What are you saying? Oh, it's a yellow spear. Yellow spears, okay. That's not a problem. This will take care of them. And they're gone, just like that. I'm guessing those have to be health for me. Like I said, I have options. And let's see, we want... Since he had the nerve to slow us down, we're gonna speed up. That way he can't do nothing. Still can't hit the bottom yet. Switch to grenade launcher mode? Okay. This means all of our characters are gonna have to utilize their kits differently. But he still has no armor, so he can't do nothing. We'll give ourselves this. Just to play safe. Don't hit my children. Shameful. to. It's just literally that. You're faster now, you can't get slowed down. And that's going to be the benefit for the whole thing. So defend. More speed. And see, look how close he's already about to be. He's already struggling. Unborn's about to be popped up. Let's do it. I'm gonna trade. Generate. So that thing's back in health, yeah. This would bother me, but then I can do this. And then do this. That takes care of that. Now we have the most nasty thing. No armor, no weakness, no nothing. Your armor's stripped. Alright, so we need slight heals to our team, but we're going to utilize that right now. And now we'll go ahead and do this. I should do my synergy attack like I used to. Pull yourself up. We got 3 more charges for that. Okay. And delayed even harder. Okay, that's a red one. And there's double speed. There's a reason why I'm doing this. I'm putting and we'll use white smoke to hit all these too. Oh, white flame. Okay, so now he switched over to big damage. He wants to make sure he hurts us. So double speed can make or break the fight, depending on how you do it. Now, this should hit everything. Yep, it's everything. Almost ready. Hold that attack, don't waste it yet. You want to make it not every time, but we're getting nice that double effects on recovery skills. That's good right now, but not needed. We don't have a reason to use it. We can't. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so he's a straight target. Okay. Come here, Moron. We gotta borrow you one more time. Oh, wait. Almost messed that up. In the middle. One more armor. Back around with the saber. Big damage, but not really nothing to shake a stick at. Next turn I could swap it, so that's fine. Lullaby at its best. Once her ability is gone, we'll start utilizing full damage. Alright. Now, let's go in. Malt doesn't have a hero mode, so we can't utilize that. We have 2 people able to do this, and we're going to switch off to having Sheena in the front. This is where you want it. Let's see. I forget what that does, but we're gonna go into that later. Now he's got more hit damage. Block again. Blocking that is annoying, but it works. Did you really think I would let you get that attack off? Just like that, the boss is defeated. I know that was a lot of explaining just for that whole tier. But I want you guys to understand. However you play the game, this is literally the setup I have for all of it. This will be on beating up the final boss. Yeah. Now you guys already know how the story ends, so I don't have to sugarcoat it for you. Because the way we're gonna beat it is by default. We don't choose to believe that he's a god. We don't give him his divine judgment. He doesn't decide the world and how it must live and end. We did the first choice, and it'll always be that first choice. You swear on your tails to never quit. It's always this way. See, even then, I wouldn't even give the choice for the soul cannon. It's like, no, we're gonna overload this dude with so many bullets and so much shells, he'll get overwhelmed. Because apparently it worked against us. It can work that way. Yes, this was a brief one, but this is how we're gonna do the brief stream. And for an understanding of the whole thing, this is my tier list on how I believe each character was utilized for the first game. The lowest one we have on here, like I said, given the choice, our lowest character is Papa. Our highest character is Boron. Our only May tier is Mech. Foreshadowing for the next game. That's not gonna be fun to go through that for the next game because, oh man, I have so much I have to say for part 2. But we're not gonna go into that because this whole time until we beat this legitly is focusing all on part 1. So when we do this stream again for the next time, we're playing all the way till we get to this point again. Only thing is, I am having in the front. And I will make sure of it. You will see this cool ending again with my whole team on phase 1. Kind of sad that that's the one boss that gets annihilated but gets brought back to life later. We'll still never figure out how he technically became AI. We'll never figure that out. And that's pretty much that. For all of you that know the true ending, that means all the kids survived. And that's how that pretty much plays. We'll come back to this on a later stream, but I believe I'll keep it on this specific day, a Friday. So if you guys want to come in for that one to gladly see how it plays out, I more than welcome you guys to come join on this. Because this right now is just pure explanation on how I see each of the kids when I first played the game. And I didn't figure out the speedrun stuff until way later. And for all you guys that are trying to be funny right now, I need you to calm down. Don't be like Socks. Yes, secretly have a crush on the chick. Still something, though. Still funny because you never actually see the rest of their family until later. And we won't even find out more about their family until 3. This homeless person is just everywhere. Who knows how far she's wandered in the world, but she's still loved. Like I said, I look forward to seeing how this one grows. I wonder if she could defeat powerful no-no users, if given the choice. And like I said, game 2, we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna see how we utilize each character differently. Our still our favorite boy, because he's the reason why we have a dream. He's a real hero. He's a real MVP. And whoever breaks up these two from a happy ending, so help me God, I will come after you and smite you. You will get sat on and destroyed. Because that is not right. Do not separate the sister and the brother. Don't ever do it. And as far as I know, that's pretty much that story. Tank's just sitting there collecting dust for now. Don't know how the military got their hands on that tank in particular without coming through our area. Just think about that. The tank was just sitting there abruptly. And then when 2 plays off, about 700 years later. That's right, this was here too, and we got no explanation for this. Only thing we... Several decades after awakening, I've seen much of this world, but alas, this is no paradise. Salute one desire, might be 5 bucks every time. Yeah, so this was also another weird cliffhanger they threw in the game. And we never got an answer for the hooded man. Even in this new world, such foolishness is repeated as though reality is trapped in a perpetual cycle. For what purpose did humanity extinguish themselves only to give way to these new people who cannot even fathom how precious each and every life is? He's literally giving you the middle finger if you've used the soul cannon at all. And the valued life, which means you don't let your teammates go.
Yeah.
No. While I have lost both my name and the order, my only purpose is not fair. It is not fair for me to question their meaning of life. If they cannot change on their own, then I shall guide them along the right path. The order may be lost, but it is clear to me now what I must do. Yeah, another region of Gasto became a floating archipelago. Yeah, see, there's this thing. It was later named Shepherd in honor of the hero young moon shepherd who led his friends to save the country. So that place was named Shepherd. Okay. New legends are born, leading way to countless untold adventures yet to come. This image too, but that is another story. Okay, so see, right there is already CC2 already giving you the big red flag. What was this for? What were we doing with this? Who was the hooded man? Who was the random stranger? We never got answers for these. And that's really a truth about that. I'm not worried about this. We're good. We'll save over this. Yeah, just save over that. New Game Plus. We'll probably do a New Game Plus run and well, no, we gotta do a fresh run and then a New Game Plus run on that to make it work. So yeah. So let me go ahead and do a. See, this is where chapter 4 is. Okay, so we're just gonna. I'm just gonna remove this one. We'll just delete this one for now. As if it never happened. But do keep that in mind. Because, see, this now hurts the story for what it signifies. You have two scenarios that don't make sense. You have a hooded man. You have a random stranger. You have an image of, from 3, what I can see is either one of the 4 tanks of the Crimson Knights. And it leads to a strange, what is this? What is this question mark? So that's going to be something we'll have to speculate when we have the chance. I'm going to make this, I think next week I'm just going to put it as a Monday or Tuesday stream. I think Tuesday we'll do this. Tuesday, even though this stream is short, Tuesday, we're coming to play this game. At the same time, we are going to do a straight run to where I have May in my front line. Malt will still be there assisting her. I have to make sure their link is at 10. So I got to get those two up to snuff. Followed by still having my Kyle and Boron combo set. But no matter what, May must stay in the front. She is going to be my utilized either support or fighter for the whole thing. I'm keeping it set like that. She never goes bench. So it's pretty much, this is May's adventure for the first game, May's adventure for the second game, and we'll talk about May's adventure in the third game. So, with that in mind, I hope to see you guys on the next stream for this. And by all means, have a wonderful night and weekend. Tomorrow, let's see, what do we have special for you guys tomorrow? Just that way you guys can feel good. I gotta look at my schedule again because I'm changing stuff as I go through. Because now that we finally got AC, we can actually take a freaking break. Yeah, so I'll change that from continuing Fuga 3. We might push that to either a Monday, maybe a Monday or maybe a Wednesday. It depends on which one we go about it. Because I do want to continue Fuga 3. I want to get this done. Because that way I could give you guys my full review of this game. Because already people are going to give it its 10 out of 10, its 9s, its 8s. Some 7s is like, okay. I get your guys' score. But are you utilizing everything in the game up to New Game Plus? How to get the stories, how to do the new mechanics, how to do the setups and everything else. If you're not doing this, it's literally just, this is what you did. This is what you did. You played fast mode. I'm not kidding. Whoever reviews, I am putting my neck out, and I'm going to say, because this mode got dropped, you have used that to get your review of the game easily. And you never had to go through the struggle of using the soul cannon. You never had to do the mechanics for your run. It was literally played out for you as a nice story. Which I'm okay for that. You could have that. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty and you want the raw, hard detail, you gotta have it like this. Otherwise, it makes most games seem lackluster. I know for a few people that I've looked at on Twitter, they have done it legitly. They did not have too many issues. The only issue I could say they've struggled with is Chapter 6. Because apparently that fight, myself included, had problems. And we'll get into that when we get back to 3. Because, I'll be honest with you, with New Game Plus, the game feels too easy. And I mean that. It feels really too easy. All these games need to have a special difficulty mode. And I'm going to really sit on that and think about it as we're getting ready to go to the next day. Because Saturday, I want to do some Sonic stuff to get back into my old trend, while also trying to balance Fuga in the same trend day. So, that way, we have both benefits of Melodies of Steel and of Sonic the Hedgehog. So, with that said, I will see you guys on Saturday. Sonic stream starts tomorrow. What Sonic game it'll be, I'm gonna let you guys figure that out. Might continue off Sonic Adventure 2 for the way we were going. Although I'm still hating that Rouge Racing segment. That thing can go to hell. You guys have an awesome night. Enjoy your weekend. And by all means, have an awesome, awesome night. Peace.